Hello YouTube, how y'all doing today? Today we're taking a look at this Votatu V848 laser aiming module. This has a white light, 1600 lumens I believe. It has a 850 nanometer infrared illuminator. It has a infrared laser and it has a green laser, and the best part is that the infrared laser is slaved to the green laser. So when you zero with the green laser in the daytime, it automatically zeroes the infrared laser as well, which is really nice, because if the infrared laser is not slaved to the green laser, you have to zero at nighttime through night vision goggles, and that is a giant pain in the butt. So this one is set up right. It's the way you want it to be. Very handy. Now let's take a look at the unit real quick, and then we'll do an unboxing bit here. And so if you look right up on top here, we have our magnetic charging port right there. It comes with a magnetic charger, so you can keep it plugged in all the time and topped off. And then if you need it, you just grab the rifle and go. And that way, at the moment you need it, it will be fully charged, which is very, very handy. So for home defense or something like that, that's a great feature. Now, this is their second iteration. The original was the V840. I'm a former U.S. Army infantryman. I reviewed that one for them, and while it was functional, it had some things that could be improved, so I suggested some improvements to them. So did my buddy over at Prepared Citizens, who's another former U.S. Army infantryman. He also reviewed it, and we both made some suggestions, and they implemented most of the suggestions. And the first thing we suggested was that this knob was too easy to turn before, so it's significantly more positive clicks. So it's very easy to adjust. You just click, 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 and it goes all the way around. It doesn't stop, and is very easy to use. Here's your positive click zeroing adjustments for the lasers right there. And they also are very easy to use, and like I said, they're positive click. They lock into position. So it's not just wandering all over the place all the time. Here's your main activation button. And this is one thing that we have suggested in the future, that they put a fence around this or recess it into the body so it's not easy to inadvertently activate. Now, this part does rise up some, so it's somewhat protected from getting hit inadvertently. And it's, as you can hear, it's got a nice tactile push. So if you accidentally turn it on in infrared mode, there's a chance you'll hear that, and you'll know that you accidentally did that. Now, that's a problem with any sort of infrared devices. If you accidentally turn it on in infrared and you don't have your night vision goggles on, you can actually drain the thing. So that's always important to know. And then also right here, we have a positive off position, so you can literally shut the device off if you want, okay? And then you can go into green only laser, light and laser, light only, white light. Then you, in the infrared mode, you can go to infrared laser only, infrared illuminator only, or infrared light and illuminator at the same time. And I will splice in some footage right here and show you just how well this works. So as you can see, this illuminator has extremely good performance. Was on my pitch black homestead at night, and I mean pitch black. I am way out in the country, and you could see that that illuminated a very, very far distance and looks really great. You could see that laser, no problem, 200 yards at night. And now the image looked a little shaky, but that's because the night vision goggles I was using were actually binoculars, and they didn't have a stabilizer in them. So, you know, the shakiness is a function of the device I was using, not necessarily any flaw with the Votatu unit here, okay? So let's take a look what we get in the package. Now, right now, I have this mounted with M-lock, as you can see, so it sits nice and low and flush. And where the button is like this, you can use a thumb over C-clamp mode. Okay, left or right-handed, obviously, ambidextrous. But you can also mount it on the sides if that's, you know, if you prefer to do things that way. Okay, so we also come with a pressure switch here. And the pressure switch is just on or off. Okay. And that plugs into this port right here in the back. It's got a rubberized cover. Like this. And that's got a positive snap click. And then if you push once, that's instant on off, momentary. Push twice and it's strobe. If you push once and let go, it's constant on. If you push twice and let go, it's constant on. And then if you push and release right away, it's momentary, okay? And we can also see that on the back of this here, we have a display, an LED display. It tells you how much battery life you have left and what have you, okay? And it also shows you what mode you're in. See if I can get that a little closer, which is also handy. Okay. And that's also handy if you're in infrared mode and you accidentally leave it on, you may see that indicator lit. So that'll help you out. And it's facing to the rear at you, and it's low profile. So it's highly unlikely anyone else will see that, but it's pretty visible for the user. Okay. Now, we also come with a Picatinny mount, so you can mount this Picatinny to that device and then mount that right on a Picatinny rail instead of M-lock, whatever you want. And then we have various adapters to hold the momentary switch on there. In case you got like a wood stock or something like that, you can screw that on there. Okay, and then various adapters and such. And it comes with a bunch of different screws for varying lengths of handguard thickness and stuff. And then this part right here is real easy to put right onto a Picatinny rail. It snaps right on there, very firm and secure. I'd show you that, but this is an M-lock handguard, so I don't have the setup to show that off to you. But this works really, really well. This is a really good device. Now, I have been testing this for months, like I said. I mean months. And it's been very durable. It's been banged around on my quad, on trail rides and stuff like that. It's got a good finish on it. The finish has not been degraded. And it's taken some bumps. It's IPX6, so it's got a pretty good amount of waterproofing. And this is a very, very solid unit, especially for the price. I think these are like, I'll have a discount code and everything in the description. But even full retail, I think these are like $89 or something. So this is a fantastic deal, folks. And this is 100% a real-world usable device. Like I said, both I and my buddy over at Prepared Citizens were both former infantrymen, and we both use these. We both have these on our firearms and use them, and this is a 100% useful device. Now, in the future, on their next model, I'm going to do my best to get them to either mount that flush or put a fence around the power switch, and I'm going to try and get them to switch to a 940 illuminator because that's a lot less visible to the naked eye. But the 850 does give you a lot of range, so you get a lot more range with an 850. So it is a trade-off, but definitely a good unit. It weighs about 6.5 ounces, so it's actually really light, and it's very sturdy, and this is a really good setup. So I definitely recommend this, folks. I've reviewed several Votatu items. Everything I've reviewed from them has been really good and good to go. I have one of their red dots on my SIG P322. It's been on there for well over a year. Thousands of rounds fired, and it's still flawless to this day. So definitely recommend this, guys. Here's the specs real quick before I close this out. Right here. And our manual. Got a good manual. Nice clear manual. Not tiny little letters and not in 1,000 different languages. So that's a good thing. But I'll put the full specs on the screen right here as well. Okay, folks, thanks for watching. This is definitely a good unit, and I definitely recommend it. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Free My Me out.